Well, good evening, happy Halloween, and welcome to playoff football in the state of Ohio. It's win or go home from here on out, and we've got two teams looking to build on what's been a great season on both sides here in round one in Division 5, Region 19. It's the Zane Trace Pioneers traveling down Route 23 to take on the Lucasville Valley Indians in first round action here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health. Carson Francis and Shane Combs joining you tonight. Shane, pleasure to have you with us as always. It's been a great season, and now we finally have made it to the playoffs. This is what we've been waiting for all season long, and what better way to kick off the postseason?
Well, it's been exciting to be with you all year long, but you're right. As you get to week 11, it just has a different feel to it, right? A little chill in the air and something about postseason that brings a little bit more urgency. And I love the way you said that. We have two really good football teams, two teams that I think have a game that really travels into the postseason. It should make for a good one.
We'll quickly step aside here for the playing of our national anthem by the Valley High School Marching Band, and we'll have more on this one coming up afterwards. The Valley High School Marching Band with our national anthem tonight before kickoff. We appreciate all of our high school marching bands for giving us some excellent pregame entertainment throughout the season. And now, as for tonight's game, Shane, again, two teams that had a great regular season. Both were 8-2 in the first 10 games. Now they've made it here to the postseason. Valley with a few big wins down the stretch to earn themselves a home playoff game, round one. Zane Trace coming in, though, looking to make things a little scary on Halloween for the Indians. They've got a great running attack with the likes of Johnson, Higgins, Gunnar McCullough, who likes to run it himself as well. And then they've got athletes like Grady Stewart, who, when they decide to put the ball in the air, some dangerous things can happen.
Well, and it all starts with that running game. You're right. I think they come in with a great offensive line. They have the ability to really run it with Johnson and Higgins. And when they establish that, don't forget about the ability to throw it. They have some real athleticism in that passing game. They don't throw it a lot, but when you look at the likes of Gunnar McCall at quarterback, and as you said, you get guys like Stewart, you get guys like Hartley, they can make the big play. So that's something that the Valley Indians defense is going to have to be aware of, because again, Zane Trace probably won't throw it more than 6-7 times on average per night, but it seems like every time we see them, they come away with a couple big plays in the passing game.
We saw it when we watched Zane Trace in the regular season against Piketon. That was an instance where, yeah, the passing game, when it's utilized, can be deadly for the Zane Trace offense. McCullough had a 56-yarder to Grady Stewart for a touchdown. He had a 70-yard pass to Higgins for a touchdown as well. We also saw that in the later stages of the Unioto game as well. That loss to Unioto was the last time Zane Trace was defeated on the football field. Where do you think Zane Trace has built from that loss to get to Week 11?
Well, obviously it wasn't the outcome they wanted, but I would feel like that Zane Trace would come away from that game against a really good Uniota opponent with a lot of confidence that they could play at this level here tonight. I mean, I think you and I agreed that Zane Trace kind of controlled the first quarter of that game, but unfortunately after like a 20-play drive, remember they had come away with no points. So as we were talking earlier in our tailgate coverage on Facebook, we were talking about how they got to put those drives together, but then they get down there, they got to finish with points. You know, you'll beat a field goal, touchdown, something, because if Zane Trace can play out in front defensively, I think they have a chance to play in the game. But again, on the Valley side, if not, Valley's got some outstanding kicking game with Bender, and they too have some offensive punch. So playing out in front of this game is going to be important.
Yeah, and one of the other things we talked about in our coverage that went out on our social medias was Valley's also got their own two-headed monster in that backfield. We know how dangerous Anthony Aaron can be, but they also get another lethal weapon back in the form of Gabe McNeil, who battled the injury bug a little bit throughout the season. He's back this week, supposed to get some more offensive reps as the night progresses.
Well, McNeil's a great all-purpose back. He can really get involved in the run game, but he can also come out of the backfield. He can line up in the slot. He can do a lot of different things. And then, obviously, Anthony Aaron's really, really talented with the ball in his hands. So you're going to have outstanding running back play on both sides. Let's not forget how good these two offensive lines are, the guys in the trenches working up front to create those running lanes. And that'll obviously be a big matchup, as it always is in football, who can win the line of scrimmage.
Valley was another team who, yes, they had the loss to Wheelersburg, and judging by how good Wheelersburg has played all season long, that's not really a surprise how that one went. The one that's kind of a head-scratcher to a lot of people was the loss to Portsmouth West, and you can point out, yes, Valley was dealing with some injuries down the stretch, but a lot of people were questioning, can this Valley team put it together these last couple weeks of the season? I think they answered that question pretty well, and I think the statement win was Week 9 at Grandview Heights, taking down the Bobcats 41-8 on the road. They beat Oak Hill, Grandview Heights, and Minford following the loss to Portsmouth West to earn their playoff spot, earn a home game here in Week 11.
Well, there's two or three things I would say to that. Number one, you just highlighted, they answered the bell, right? They were able to bounce back and they go. Number two, obviously you lose certain types of players, and there's not always a next man up. You start losing the talent of a McNeil and things like that, that really can hurt your play calling and your explosiveness. And then the third thing, Wheelersburg does that to a lot of people. So, you know, so I wouldn't worry too much about the Wheelersburg. Now, on your Portsmouth West comment, I don't want to speak for you, but I thought the two of us had come away pretty impressed with them. That's still a pretty good football team. They played a tough schedule. They lost some tough ones. So Portsmouth West is the type of team that presents some physicality, some playoff-style football. So I think all it does is make a Valley team battle-tested and even more ready for tonight.
Absolutely. The SOC2, obviously, no joke when you've got teams like Wheelersburg, Valley, West, who's also in the playoffs tonight. They are taking on Summit Country Day down in Cincinnati in Division 6, Region 24. We'll quickly take a look at the rest of Division 5, Region 19, something that you'll want to keep an eye on. These two teams battling out to play in Week 12. The winner of this game will travel to Columbus Academy next Friday night, a matchup in Gahanna for that one. Otherwise, in Division 5, Region 19, down in Coal Grove, the Hornets playing host to Morgan in an 8 versus 9 matchup. The winner earns the right to play Wheelersburg next Friday at Ed Miller Stadium. Down on the river tonight, Amanda Clear Creek taking on Portsmouth in a 5v12 matchup. The winner of that game will travel to Barnesville. And then the other side of this bracket, up in Columbus, Afrocentric playing host to Union Local, and the winner of that game will travel to Nelsonville, York next Friday.
Yeah, well, a lot of good programs there. You just rattled off, and as always, the deeper you go, the bigger, faster, stronger the opponent gets. And, you know, first things first, you know, some teams enjoying the bye tonight. The teams that get a chance to play in Week 11 certainly are going to be excited to do so, and I know these two programs certainly are.
Both of these teams, again, coming in with a record of 8 wins and 2 losses in the regular season. A fight to keep their season alive for at least one more week here in Lucasville. We'll quickly step aside and come back for more pregame coverage right before kickoff here between Valley and Zane Trace. You're watching Ohio High School playoff football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Have you experienced Simply Brilliant Fiber Internet? Yeah, that's Glow Fiber. Lightning fast internet that keeps up with your busy life. A reliable fiber-to-the-home network whether you're working, learning, playing, or streaming. And best of all, Glow Fiber has real local support from real people who are happy to talk to you. And switch now for your first month free. Faster, more reliable fiber internet with real local support. Glow Fiber. Simply brilliant.
Back here in Lucasville, teams getting ready to take the field. It's the 10th seeded Zane Trace Pioneers and the 7th seeded Valley Indians in this first round matchup in Division 5, Region 19. As the Indians take the field in front of their home crowd. This is a Valley team that is looking for their first playoff win since 2020. Nolan Crabtree, the head coach, has led them to their most wins since that 2015 season. They went 9-1 in the regular season, made it to Week 12 that year, a year coming off of a state semifinal run.
Oh, it's certainly been a program, really an athletic department that's had really good athletic teams and great culture and a beautiful facility down here. They do really well for their kids and just a lot of pride. And I know I've enjoyed coming down here several times. They've been really good to us and very welcoming. And just you can tell it's a really good culture, good kids. And you know they're going to come out in front of the home fans and want to play really well, but you know they'll play really hard.
Zane Trace taking the field as well. They are looking for their 5th playoff win in school history. This group of seniors actually did experience a playoff win back in 2023, a win over Middletown Madison back in head coach Dylan Weir's first season at the helm of the Pioneers. This is Zane Trace's 6th straight trip to the playoffs.
Well, again, the consistency and that number doesn't surprise me because it feels like they've been able to string a lot of years together with a lot of 7, 8, 9 win seasons, some SVC championships, sprinkle back a little further. I know Uniota's been able to get them the last 2 or 3 years, but this is a team that very, very consistent, and I think it has a lot to do with their identity in terms of the offensive line and the ability to run the football.
The final minute of pregame counting down, fans making their way to their seats. It's a chilly evening here in Lucasville. Finally feels like football season. We've had a warm fall, to say the least, up till this point.
Yeah, definitely feels a little as we were moving the equipment in tonight and coming up, and some people doing some tailgating and stuff. You can see them bundled up, and certainly feels a little bit more like it. That's correct.
The Indians will receive possession to start the evening. Preston Lane set to boot it away for the Pioneers. Back deep to return for Valley is the junior Braxton Conaway.
Carson, earlier in the year, Lane was battling some injuries, is what I was understanding as I talked to some Zane Trace people this week. And as the year goes on, seems to be getting a little healthier. He can be quite a weapon, and obviously we've highlighted Jalen Bender on the other side. He's a terrific talent as well. So the kicking game certainly could impact this game tonight.
Lane to tee it up from the right hash. Zane Trace and Valley in first-round action in Division 5, Region 19. The playoffs are underway in the state of Ohio. Opening kickoff fielded by Gabe McNeil at the 20. McNeil gets past the 30 before he's upended by Mason Hartley at the 32, and the Indians will start from that point to begin the night.
Yeah, as you said, Valley back closer to full strength. You know, I don't know that any team's always 100% when you played 10 weeks of football and the physicality of the sport, but certainly when you get a kid like McNeil and team him up with Anthony Aaron, that certainly gives you that nice 1-2 punch as we highlighted in our pregame coverage.
Be 1st and 10 at the 33 for the Indians. Pistol set. Conaway, the quarterback, going to keep it himself. Braxton Conaway gets a nice gain before he's dropped at the 38.
That's certainly what he gives you from the quarterback position. You and I have seen him throughout the year, his ability to do some things with the feet. A lot of eyeballs are going to be on Aaron and McNeil, so when he adds that dimension, it's just that one more thing you got to watch for.
Call it 2nd and 6 for the Indians. Conaway going to keep it again, going speed option. Conaway runs into a defender and goes down. Blake Brower right there to get in Conaway's way, forces 3rd down.
Yeah, just outstanding edge play from Brower, setting the edge there. Really ended up taking away the pitch and big 2nd down play to set up 3rd and 5, which, again, shy of midfield, probably one that the Indians feel like they need to convert.
Brower, the SVC Defensive Lineman of the Year, makes a play there. 3rd and 5 for the Indians. Diamond set on the far side. They'll throw a screen to McNeil. McNeil trying to get past the defender. McNeil gets the 1st down, fighting through contact. Gabe McNeil back on the Indians' offense. Moves the chains for the first time tonight.
Well, and Carson, that's why he's such a big factor is that was pretty well scouted, pretty well played, but you just simply don't get him to the ground. And that's where the individual talent of McNeil can just make some guys miss and move the chains. Big 3rd down play.
McNeil usually a running back, but they will be using him a lot in the slot tonight. Expect to see him in the passing game. Here's a 1st and 10 handoff to Anthony Aaron. Anthony Aaron gets to the sideline, and he's pushed out of bounds after a gain of about 5. As Bryce Johnson was there to push him out.
This is when Valley's at their best. We've seen 3 different athletes touch the football here in the early going. So the quarterback gets involved in the run game, then you get McNeil in the passing game, and then, of course, you always know Anthony Aaron's someone that they want to get plenty of touches throughout the evening.
Anthony Aaron came in last season, the transfer from Columbus Walnut Ridge. Gain of 5 on his first carry. Aaron in motion on 2nd down. They'll reverse it to Anthony Aaron. Aaron gets dropped at the 50 by Jaden Higgins. Higgins, the high safety for the Pioneers, came flying to the line of scrimmage. Stops the dangerous Aaron for a short gain.
Yeah, that's an outstanding play in space. You know, the talented runners that we're going to see in tonight's game, the ability to get them on the ground is hard enough with a group of tacklers there. In the one-on-one situation, it's really difficult, and that was really well done.
Higgins, 37 tackles in the regular season. 3rd and 4 for the Indians. They'll hand it off to Aaron. Aaron gets hit at the line of scrimmage, and he's going nowhere. A tribe of Pioneers able to stop Aaron at the line of scrimmage. Blake Brower, the first one there.
Yeah, it looks like they might give him about a half a yard, but going to bring up the first tough decision of the evening, and it looks like they're going to play the field position game. And when you consider the talent they have in the kicking game and the type of game that you and I feel this will be, I certainly understand this decision.
Jalen Bender to punt for the Indians. Grady Stewart, the deep man for Zane Trace. And they're going to run a fake. It's a direct snap to McNeil. And he's tackled at the line to gain. It's going to be close. They'll give him a first down.
Yeah, Carson, the near side official had him past the far side. I couldn't tell if he agreed with him, but how about that call to start the game here? Roll the dice and move the chain.
It looked like, too, the Zane Trace defense was kind of expecting something the way they were lined up. But you've got guys like Gabe McNeil, those athletes on your punt team. Anything's on the table.
No question.
McNeil gets just enough for a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 45. Tight end in motion is Blake Lundy moving to the right. Now McNeil motions to the right. They hand it off to McNeil on first down. McNeil gets a gain of 5. And he's dropped by Hudson Williams of the Pioneers.
Well, Carson, when you start sending athletes like Aaron or McNeil in motion, it just sets up so many things on the fake and the inside run. So again, that's why I say Valley at their best when they get all dimensions of the offense going, and you've seen it to the edge as well as inside already on this opening drive.
Conaway in the shotgun on 2nd down. Man in motion is Lex Logan. They'll swing it out to Logan in the flat. Logan trying to make a man miss, but he's not going to get past the safety, Jaden Higgins. It's the second time tonight we've seen Higgins make a similar play, playing high, comes up to the line of scrimmage, makes a stop for no gain.
Yeah, again, the open field tackle, so important in all levels of football, but really in high school because, again, with some of these athletes, again, in space, that can be difficult, and Higgins has been up to the challenge on his first 2 attempts.
Higgins, the senior and first-team All-SVC member. 3rd and 5 for the Indians at the 40, loaded backfield. Conaway fakes the handoff, going to keep it himself. Conaway can't quite get to the first down. Chased down by a few Pioneers, and it'll be 4th down and short for Valley.
Yeah, now that you're onto the plus side, I could see this being more of a traditional go forward here. You're 4th and what are you going to call that, about 3? So obviously you got a lot of different ways you can go about this if you're Valley.
Play clock down at 10. Loaded backfield again for the Indians. 4th and 3. Conaway fakes the handoff, finds McNeil in the flat. McNeil picks up the first down. Flag is on the ground on the far sideline. Would have been enough to move the chains, but it's going to be coming back.
Couldn't tell what the signal was. They had someone downfield. I didn't see the signal.
The far side official signaled that there was an ineligible man downfield, and I believe that is what the call is going to be. Our officiating crew tonight, head referee John Evans, our umpire, our good friend Eric Cox, line judge Don Hazelwood, head linesman is Wayne Horsley, back judge Sean Willie, and the center judge William Jordan.
Yeah, obviously an outstanding crew, as you'd expect in all playoff games. But first flag of the night, assuming it holds here, is going to be a big call because you're talking the difference between 1st and 10 inside the 35 compared to moving them back and then see what they do on the 4th and a little bit longer. Going to wave it off.
Wow. And that'll give Valley a first down. The Indians 2 for 2 on 4th down conversion attempts.
And again, Carson, look how many different ways they're using McNeil. Just so difficult for the defense to cover it all. But again, you just got to be aware of where he's lining up in the formation and then trust your film work to know all the different things they're going to try to do with him.
Now 1st and 10 at the 34. Aaron to the left of Conaway, McNeil to his right. Here's a first down handoff to Aaron, and Aaron is stuffed by Hudson Williams. With authority, Hudson Williams makes his presence known early.
Yeah, you and I've seen Hudson Williams play some nice football games this year. Good all-around player. That time he's assigned to the running back and certainly steps up and makes a big first down tackle for a loss. Remember what you were talking to me about earlier about a key, and I was talking about winning first down, because if you can move them into down and distance, even though you're in 4-down territory most likely, it certainly helps the defense.
Now empty backfield on 2nd and long. Aaron in motion. Conaway going to keep it himself. He's going to try and scramble for something, but he only gets maybe a yard, and he's dropped by the tag team of Blake Brower and Bryce Johnson. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, really good job by Zane Trace front. Again, what you're trying to do in some of those play assignment football, and I thought they did a good job in their integrity there of holding their lanes and then flying to the football.
We've got an official's timeout here. Not sure what the discussion's for.
Carson, I know you don't say this in high school football very often, but honestly, Valley's not that far out of Bender's range.
Not at all. Well, we saw him warming up, and he was kicking from 40, 45, 50 yards.
Well, in his career, I know even in game situation, he's shown the ability from deep to give his team a chance.
3rd and 11, McNeil in motion. They'll swing it out to McNeil. McNeil trying to get into the open field, and he collides with Higgins again. Jaden Higgins once again in the open field. Stops McNeil in its tracks, and it brings up 4th down.
All right, they're actually going to move him back a yard, and that probably going to have to go ahead and go for it. At least line up, see if you can draw them off sides to get a little closer.
So it'd be a pretty lengthy field goal for Bender. If they were to trot him out, they will not. They're going to go for it on 4th and 12. Trips on the far side. 4th and 12, Conaway dropping back, taking a shot down the seam, and it's incomplete. Jaden Higgins got a hand on the pass and forces a turnover on downs.
Well, big-time series from Jaden Higgins. He shows off his ability to tackle in space with 2 plays up closer to the line of scrimmage. That time in the defensive backfield, he read the quarterback all the way, broke on the football, and a nice 4th down stop for the Zane Trace defense.
How about an opening drive on defense from Jaden Higgins? Multiple open field tackles, the deflection to get his team the ball back. Now Gunnar McCullough and the Zane Trace offense take the field for the first time tonight. It'll be 1st down and 10 from their own 36. Johnson and Higgins in the backfield with McCullough under center. First and 10, here's a toss out to Bryce Johnson. Johnson gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Connor Wilson, he's fired up after making that play.
Yeah, nice play on the edge there. Zane Trace will stay stubborn with the run. Bryce Johnson, one of the really good, just physical ball carriers in our coverage area.
Johnson, the SVC co-running back of the year, shared that award with Unioto's Cody Braden. They'll give him a gain of 1 on the first carry of the night. 2nd down, here's a handoff up the middle for Johnson. Johnson gets a few more yards, but not much more than that. Taken down by Connor Wilson and Braxton Conaway.
Carson, you and I joked earlier today that this game may not take more than an hour and a half, the way these teams like to run the football. We're already going to be under 4 minutes by the time Zane Trace. So, again, what that tells you in all seriousness is how important every possession is. The ability to possess the football, move the chains, make sure that you're at least staying competitive in time of possession.
Pioneers go heavy on the right side, 3rd and 6. Here's another toss. Johnson through contact. He's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Blake Lundy, one of the first Indians to get there, and quickly it's 4th down for the Pioneers.
Yeah, great job by Valley and their scouting, understanding that 3rd and 6 against an opponent like Zane Trace doesn't always mean what it might mean with some different teams. As I said, they're going to stay stubborn to the run, and you see that there a little bit.
4th and 5, Hudson Williams will boot it away for the Pioneers. Braxton Conaway deep to return for Valley. End over end punt, takes a bounce at the 32, and it will roll slightly inside the 30-yard line, down by the Pioneers in that spot, and Valley takes back over.
I was getting ready to say it was going to take a Zane Trace bounce. That kind of took a fair bounce, right?
Took a lateral bounce, if you would. That's a good 3 and out by Valley's defense.
It really is. They really controlled the line of scrimmage. Great sign for the Indians' defensive front, and something to build off of. Get your offense right back on the field. Your offense, if you include the fake there, they recorded 3 first downs and then possessed the ball a little bit for you.
Blake Lundy in the shotgun on first down with Anthony Aaron to his right. 1st and 10. Conaway's going to swing it, and it's picked off. Grady Stewart, house call, touchdown. Zane Trace with the spark plug on defense, and it's Grady Stewart with the first points of the night.
Right around 30 yards, and Carson, we've read this book before. We've seen Stewart jump the route and take it back to the house, and what better way than to spark your team than to get the defense involved in the scoring early.
It is Grady Stewart's 3rd pick 6 of the season, and it comes in his team's biggest game of the year. Preston Lane out to kick the extra point. It's a high snap. Lane able to split the uprights and sink the extra point. A 30-yard pick 6 from Grady Stewart gives Zane Trace a 7-0 lead with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. We'll be right back. You're watching Ohio High School Playoff Football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
The Zane Trace defense comes up clutch once again. Grady Stewart, first play of the drive, 30-yard pick 6. Pioneers up 7.
Carson, it's the ball skills of the wide receiver and the three-sport athlete. He shows off of a lot of that there. So many defensive backs will get a good read. They might not have the hands to make that play or the ability to run after catch. He obviously shows off the ability to do that. Would you say now 3 pick 6 on the year? That's a phenomenal stat.
3 interceptions, and they've all gone for touchdowns. As the ensuing kickoff is a line drive, and it bounces out of bounds. Valley will have some favorable field position to start.
If you're Valley, just got to regroup here, settle back in. You end up showing the ability to move the football in the opening drive. Obviously, throw the pick 6 there. Ton of football to play. You just want to reset the offense here and still stay aggressive in what you do.
And credit to Grady Stewart for reading that swing pass perfectly. Got a great jump on it, and it resulted in 6 points. And now the silver lining for Valley is now you just get to go right back out and try again. Penalty moves them up to their own 40-yard line, 1st and 10. 2-back set. Conaway fakes the handoff to Aaron, breaks a tackle, trying to get some more yards. And a flag is down as Conaway gets dropped after a gain of about 3 or 4.
Flag came in a little bit late. Sometimes, you see the penalty and then the flag comes out a second or two later. But yeah, because it was so late, I was going to say it very possible could have been a face mask. Looks like it is. A lot of times if you're going to get a hold, it seems like you get it a little bit earlier in the run. That flag, Carson, came out toward the end of the play just before the whistle.
It's definitely not something you can afford to have too much of either, especially in a playoff setting, those penalties that give your opponent free yards. Now 1st and 10 at the Zane Trace 41. Empty backfield for Conaway. McNeil in motion. Conaway takes a snap himself, goes up the middle and doesn't get much. Gets maybe 2 on the keeper. Peyton Arthurs and Blake Brower able to take him down.
Conaway's been aggressive as a runner here early in the game, already 6 runs, and most of his runs are pretty much designed. There's a couple options in there, but I think what they're doing is they're using McNeil and Aaron in a lot of different ways in pre-snap in the formation. Some of that I call eye candy, where you're just trying to get the defense to pay attention to them, and Conaway's been extremely aggressive carrying the football. 2nd
and 9 at the 40. Conaway hands it off to Aaron. Aaron trying to get to the outside, gets to the sideline and gets leveled by Bryce Johnson on the far side. Johnson showing off the physicality on the defensive side of the ball. We know him to be a physical running back, but he can lay the lumber on defense as well.
Obviously, this time of year, 2 teams like this, you expect it to be a physical game. I've been real impressed with how both lines on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, have competed against one another.
3rd and 6 at the 37. Aaron to the left of Conaway. Conaway fakes the give. He's going to keep it himself. Conaway's got the 1st down. Runs into a defender and dives forward inside the 30. Braxton Conaway calls his own number and moves the chains for the Indians.
Yeah, right around 9 yards, his longest carry of the night, and that had a lot to do with that formation I'm talking about, Carson. They got Aaron going short side of the field, so then it ended up giving Conaway a lot of space to the open side, and he was able to hit the edge and move the chain.
The 9-yard carry from Conaway, 30 seconds left in the 1st quarter. Blake Lundy motions over to the left, as does Gabe McNeil. They'll hand it off to McNeil. McNeil breaks a tackle and goes down on the 2nd effort. Lucas Euler, the first one to get there. Bryce Johnson in cleanup duty.
Yeah, obviously the turnover is the big play in the game so far, but if you're Valley's offense, you have to feel good. You know, Conaway's carried it 7 times, McNeil 3 times, Anthony 5 times, so you're spreading the ball around. And
that will bring us to the end of the 1st quarter. A pick 6 by Grady Stewart puts Zane Trace in a 7-0 lead, but Valley inside the 25 when we come back. 2nd quarter coming your way. You're watching Ohio High School playoff football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
For 175 years, the Glockner name has stood for trust. Today, that promise continues. Every time your family turns the key. Generations have trusted us for one reason. We never stopped caring. From preschool drop-offs to road trips, you leave our service center knowing your family is in the safest hands possible. 175 years of social proof that this isn't just service. It's a promise from our family to yours.
2nd quarter here at Valley High School, getting ready to get underway. The Indians, after a pick 6 on their previous drive, moving right back down the field, and they're at the Zane Trace 24.
Well, Carson, to showcase how huge the pick 6 was, Zane Trace ran 3 plays and then punted the football in the whole 1st quarter, compared to Valley, who's possessed the ball forever, yet Zane Trace up 7-0 because of the pick 6.
2nd and 6 for the Indians. Here's a handoff to Anthony Aaron. Aaron up the middle, collides into Lucas Euler before being dropped short of the line to gain.
3, almost 4 there on the carry.
Anthony Aaron, one of the most electrifying players in the Southeast District. He's been the spark plug on this Valley offense these last 2 seasons. hoping he can break one big for a score here. 3rd down and 3. Twins on both sides. Here's a handoff. No, Conaway's going to keep it himself. Conaway's in trouble, and he gets dropped. Wrangled down by Lucas Euler. And that brings up 4th down. Euler, the grown man play.
What a big play, too, because with any positive yardage, even with the talented field goal kicker, they probably go for it. But now with the tackle for loss, I would think they'll certainly use their weapon in Bender to try to get on the board.
Bender will take the field to attempt a 45-yard field goal out of the hold of the freshman C.J. Maynard.
Plenty of leg, but this is a little bit of a unique angle here from the right side.
Snap, hold, kick is blocked. And it's loose, scooped up by Mason Hartley. Hartley's going to return this to the house. Touchdown, Pioneers. It's a Hartley house call on the blocked field goal.
Carson, how about Zane Trace? 3 offensive plays on the night. Their defense and their special teams has them out to a 13-0 lead with a PAT still to come. Unbelievable.
Mason Hartley blocks the field goal, scoops it up, and takes it all the way to the end zone to give the Pioneers a 2-score lead. Unbelievable. Preston Lane to kick the extra point. High snap, and Lane clears the uprights for the 2nd time tonight. 14-0, Zane Trace, 10:25 until halftime. Shane, defense and special teams, the name of the game for the Pioneers.
Look, Zane Trace has been able to do that type of stuff all year. We've seen a lot of elite athletes making plays on the special teams, on the defensive side of the ball. And again, you come in here and, that's why sometimes stats don't tell the whole story. You come in and it's opportunistic, right? It's one of those things where Valley, if you just looked at the stat sheet, you'd be like, oh, Valley's in control of the football game. But because of those 2 big plays, one on the defensive side, one on special teams, it's the complete opposite of what the stat sheet would say, and it's 14-0 Zane Trace.
30-yard pick 6 in the first quarter and a blocked field goal return for a touchdown by Mason Hartley. Puts the Pioneers in front by 2 scores. Their defense looking to continue to wreak havoc here as Lane to boot it away from the right hash. Conaway again back deep to return for the Indians.
Well, Carson, again, a lot of football to play, but I mentioned how important it was going to be to play out in front in this matchup because you felt like both of these teams are probably not built to come from way behind. It's not to say that they both aren't very talented on the offensive side. It's just they seem to go about it more with the 9, 10, 11 play drive.
And it's got to be a shot a little bit in Valley's confidence to move the ball well on 2 different drives now and to come away empty-handed.
Well, give Euler a lot of credit, too,
Absolutely.
on the 3rd down play, because I really think if there was any positive gain on the 3rd down play, even with the talented kicker, they probably roll the dice and go for it.
Valley retaking the field at the 35. Should be a pistol set for the Indians. McNeil playing shallow. Here's Conaway on the keeper. Conaway gets a few yards, and it takes a few Pioneers to take him down. Johnson, Brower, and Lane Reeves all in on that tackle.
Give Stewart a lot of credit there. I thought he did a good job of staying home on the pitch and stringing the play out. Looked like he was assigned to Anthony Aaron there and was able to just kind of string the play out a little bit and get it back inside. Pretty good job by Conaway to get a couple, really. It was pretty well defended.
Our officials have a little conversation. They will resume the running of this clock. Coming up on 10 minutes to go till half, 2nd and 8 at the 37. Trips on the far side. 2nd and 8, Conaway looking to throw. Taking a shot down the seam, and it's intercepted by Grady Stewart for the second time tonight. Flags come out after the play.
So
if the ball's in the air, it's got Grady Stewart's name on it.
you assume that the interception will hold. All of those flags seem to come out immediately after the play. So my guess is the Stewart interception will hold, and then we probably have some personal foul, some sort of taunting there.
The interception will hold, as you said, Shane. Zane Trace will start about 15 yards back from the original spot. The ball hawking ability of Grady Stewart.
Well, Conaway was 4 for his first 4. Then he threw the one incomplete on the 4th down play that Higgins broke up. And then his last 2 passes have fallen in the hands of Grady Stewart, the one the pick 6, and then this one the turnover here. Now, that was a big penalty, because that's certainly a big field position play.
They'll start at their own 34, just the 4th offensive play of the night for Zane Trace. Here's a toss out to Bryce Johnson. Johnson lowers his shoulder and picks up about 6 on the carry, and a flag down after the play. And the officials are going to appear to send someone to the bench. That's Evan Miner that the official signaled over to the Zane Trace sideline.
Well, and again, Carson, this is one of those things you get the really good officiating crews into the postseason, and they're not going to put up with it. You've got to compose and compete. You can really cost your team here. So these are big field position plays.
They call a personal foul on Valley. That gives Zane Trace now some extra yardage. Kind of makes up for the yardage they lost after the interception.
Mm-hmm. Zane Trace finally gets their first down of the game, leading 14-0, mind you, at 9:42 the second quarter, and it comes with the penalty.
The sophomore Uriah Robbins will sub into the game at right tackle for the Pioneers. It'll be 1st and 10 at the Valley 45. Higgins and Johnson in the backfield. Hudson Williams off the line at tight end. Here's a handoff to Higgins. Higgins lowers his shoulder, gets stuffed after a gain of about 2. Brought down by Blake Lundy, the junior middle linebacker.
Carson, this is where Zane Trace gets really difficult to stop. They get on the plus side of the field, and they start running it at you 3, 4, 5 yards at a time. Let's see if the Valley defensive front can step up and make a play here and try to steal some momentum back in this game. Like I said, Valley's done a lot right statistically, but they've kind of been shell-shocked by the 2 big plays, the defensive and special team touchdowns.
Gain of 3 from Higgins on the last play, 2nd and 7. They'll go back to Johnson. Johnson trying to work up the middle. He won't go down easy. He falls forward for a gain of about 4 or 5 yards on the carry.
Just keeps the feet moving, stays low, and then what he does is he finishes the run. So every time you feel like it's a 2-yard gain, it's a 4-yard gain. Every time you think it's a 4-yard gain, it's a 6-yard gain. He's just constantly working hard all the way to the whistle.
Johnson in Week 10, the win over Adena. 27 carries for 198 yards, found the end zone of 4 times. 3rd and 2, they'll hand it off to Johnson. Again, Johnson breaks a tackle, gets the first down, and spins forward after moving the chains after a short gain that's just enough, and then some.
Yeah, great job on the right side of that offensive line, doing a job there. So now you get that clock a-ticking, and you start to grind the running game a little bit. And after the slow start for the Zane Trace offense, they're finding its rhythm here in the second quarter.
1st and 10 at the 33. They'll hand it off to Hudson Williams. Flag is down on the far side. Another one comes out in the backfield. It's taken down by McNeil at the 29.
My guess, setting the edge there, we're going to get a hold here. I couldn't tell if it came out earlier in the formation or not.
On the far side, it looked like there were two Pioneers that started moving at the same time.
Yep.
It was Williams and whoever the far side receiver was.
Well, they did have two, so they did have, we were both right. So they had the illegal shift, but then they also had the hold. So it looks like they're going to decline the short one, take the long one.
Well, back the Pioneers to the Valley 43-yard line. Call it 1st and 20.
Well, Carson, we always talk about penalty yardage. The penalty might say 10 yards, but it's one of those where the run, if you look where it went, you're talking about almost a 15, 20-yard penalty.
1st and 20. Here's a handoff to Higgins. Higgins trying to get through traffic, runs into a wall, and gets dropped after a gain of about 1 or 2. Connor Wilson and Blake Lundy tag teaming.
So now this tests the play calling a little bit more. Zane Trace had everything going right the way they like it in terms of down and distance. The penalty gets them back behind the chain. So let's see if they'll continue to stay stubborn here with the run game or if they'll go ahead and put it in the air for the first time tonight.
We've seen Zane Trace get in situations where they won't put the ball in the air unless they absolutely have to. Some of these 2nd and 3rd and long situations, we've seen McCullough put it in the air. There's a handoff to Johnson, and Johnson runs into another wall. Tyler Carver was ready for him on that carry. Stops him right at the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 17.
We also haven't seen McCullough use his feet yet this evening. That's been a weapon he can also go to. You know, this is an interesting play call here, Carson, because leading 14-0 and you get the ball to start the second half, I could see where Zane Trace certainly might try to make a play here, but, you know, if you had to win field position here, it wouldn't be the end of the world.
3rd and 17, McCullough to throw. It's a screen pass to Hartley. Hartley breaks a tackle. He's still going. Mason Hartley taken down inside the 30. Still not enough to pick up the first down, taken down by J.U. Howard. But an electric show of footwork by Mason Hartley.
Well, and what makes that such a big play is if you tackle right away, there's a good chance Zane Trace punts the football. But now because of the extra effort where he gains probably, about 13, Zane Trace might as well go for it with the ball at the 28.
4th and 5 at the 28, under 5 minutes to go till halftime. McCullough in the shotgun.
Pay attention to McCullough's ability to run the football as well.
And Dylan Weirs is going to burn his first timeout of the night before this 4th down and 5.
Again, what we've seen on some of these 4th down conversions throughout the year when it's 4th and a little bit more manageable, if that first wide receiver isn't there and McCullough gets flushed out of the pocket, he's very capable as an athlete with his feet. Something you got to be aware of if you're the Valley defense.
Head coach Dylan Weirs in his 3rd season as the head coach of the Pioneers, looking for his 2nd playoff win as the head coach of Zane Trace. He's 2-4 overall in playoff games, going back to his days as a head coach at North Lewisburg Triad. Certainly a little bit of experience on that Pioneer sideline. Pioneers offense back out for 4th and 5, 4:39 remaining in the first half. Hartley motions from left to right. McCullough rolling out. He's got Hartley wide open in the flat. It's through his hands and incomplete. Hartley might have had a chance to take that to the end zone. Couldn't catch it first.
Yeah, great play call, great design. Used the pre-snap motion, and they were able to break one of their best athletes out in the space and Just couldn't pitch and catch, unfortunately, for Zane Trace. But if you're Valley, what a break. Let's see if the Indians can respond here before the half.
And now you see here the Indians look to go with a different look under center. It'll be the 5'9" junior Hunter Cunningham taking snaps for the Indians. We've seen Conaway and Cunningham splitting reps at the quarterback position throughout the regular season. And Coach Crabtree electing to go to his alternate quarterback here in the second quarter.
Yeah, this is something for Valley that's not abnormal, so this is something they do. That's a good point.
1st and 10. Cunningham fakes the handoff, taking a shot for McNeil on the wheel route. It's caught. And he gets taken down by McCullough, but Gabe McNeil out of the backfield puts the Indians in enemy territory. Cunningham enters the game and delivers a beautiful dime to McNeil.
Well, just like that, that's the different dynamic that they bring. Conaway a little bit more of the runner, Cunningham a little bit more of the thrower, and they come out and again they're moving McNeil around and they get him out in space for the 25-yard gain.
And we've got a Pioneer shaken up after the play, and while he's being attended to by the training staff, we will step aside. You're watching Ohio High School Playoff Football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Back here at Valley High School, 4:16 left in the second quarter, as the Indians have it in Zane Trace territory. Was Gunnar McCullough, the Pioneers, shaken up after that last play?
Yeah, certainly would be a huge loss. Hopefully he's okay. I can hear a bunch of football coaches now talking about quarterback playing defense, but that's just something you're going to see at the small schools, D5, D6, D7.
Cunningham hands it off to Anthony Aaron on first down. Aaron trying to cut it back, gets taken down at the 45 by a handful of Pioneers. Hudson Williams, Evan Miner, and Peyton Arthurs all in on the stop.
Yeah, Carson, you feel like Zane Trace, their eyeballs have really come in, locked in on number 22, Anthony Aaron, trying to really keep him under control. As a result, McNeil has got loose on him a little bit, but for the most part, they've been able to bottle up Aaron here in the early going. That was his 7th carry of the night. Only about 14 yards on my stat sheet here.
2nd and 8 at the 45. It's Cunningham in the shotgun. Aaron to his left. Cunningham fakes the give, trying to fire to McNeil. It's almost intercepted by Jaden Higgins. Cunningham underthrew the pass to McNeil on the seam, and Jaden Higgins had it read perfectly.
Yeah,
couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, he really did, and he's about a half count away from taking that all the way back to the house himself. And right now, some of the Valley passing game, I think the athleticism of the Zane Trace secondary is something they just haven't had a real good feel for.
McCullough re-enters the game after 2 plays on the sideline. 3rd and 8 for the Indians. Cunningham to throw. It's caught on the near sideline. Isaiah Clark will be just short of the line to gain. Or no, they're going to give him the first down. It looked close, but they will give Isaiah Clark the first down. First catch of the night for Clark, moves the chains.
Did a nice job with the feet there on the side.
Be 1st and 10 at the 37. Lundy motions from right to left, as does McNeil. Cunningham hands it off to McNeil. McNeil trying to get into the open field. McNeil had some room, taken down from behind by Hudson Williams. They've been using Gabe McNeil on those jet sweeps, and they've gotten some good yardage out of it.
Yeah, gain of 9 there, and talk about winning first down. This really opens the playbook here on a 2nd and short.
McNeil returning to the offensive side of the ball after dealing with some injuries down the stretch of the second half of the season. He's looking to help the Indians get right back into this ball game. 2nd and 1. McNeil in motion. Again, they're going to hand it right back to him. McNeil trying to get to the outside, but this time the Pioneers defense says that's not happening twice on my watch. Hudson Williams able to bring him down. And Nolan Crabtree is going to burn his first time out with 2:12 left in the first half.
Well, a big stop there for Zane Trace. Still 3rd and short. If you're Valley, you have everything on the table. Clock shouldn't be a huge factor just yet.
Valley awaits a 3rd and 2. While we have a stoppage in play, we want to promote another stream coming up this weekend. Tomorrow from Logan, we've got the Division V volleyball back out for a 3rd and 2 at the Zane Trace 29. Lundy shifts to the left side. McNeil in motion. Cunningham hands it off to Aaron. Aaron up the middle. There's a fight for it. No signal yet from the officials. Close fist.
I think he's short.
We'll give him 4th down as we're under 2 minutes to go till half.
Well, again, this is one you feel like it's not that hard a decision. You just got to find a way to convert again. If you're Valley, you've moved the football. I have them for 7 first downs, Carson, in the first half. I mean, they've had success moving the football. They've just had the costly mistakes in terms of the turnovers as well as the miscue on special teams.
And very quickly, Nolan Crabtree will use another timeout to discuss the upcoming 4th and 1. And quickly, we will take it with him. You're watching Ohio High School Playoff Football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Minute 38 left till halftime, and the Valley Indians face a 4th and 1 at the Zane Trace 28. Valley lining up in an I formation. Anthony Aaron, the deep man, McNeil in the middle. 4th and 1, Cunningham got to keep it himself, gets a push from McNeil. There's a pile at the line.
Far side official looks like he's got it.
And they give him the first down. A modified tush push from the Indians. Cunningham does it himself, picks up a first down.
Yeah, nice job, Cunningham. Good ball security. You're right, he got a little assist from McNeil there, the up back.
Clock keeps moving now, 1st and 10 at the 26.
Now the clock is becoming a little bit more of a factor.
Trips on the far side. Cunningham fakes a give, fires, and the pass is caught. It's Lex Logan. Logan inside the 15, taken down after moving the chains. Hartley and Johnson able to wrestle him down. First catch of the night for Lex Logan.
Good read, had 3 layers on that route. He went with the middle guy. And Valley's in business here inside the red zone.
Valley going hurry up. Under a minute to play till half. Now they'll let that clock run down. It's Cunningham awaiting a signal. 1st and 10, Cunningham to throw, trying to go for McNeil on the sideline, incomplete. That'll stop the clock with 34 seconds remaining. Tried to find McNeil on the out route to the sideline, couldn't get it to him.
So, Carson, it's a time and score situation here. On the scoreboard here, Valley has the one timeout remaining. You have 34 seconds. So, I mean, technically the middle of the field and even the run game is still in play. But again, you want to be careful on how you use this timeout down the stretch. Valley has to come away with some sort of points here.
Aaron to the left of Cunningham in the shotgun. Second down. Cunningham fakes the give, taking a shot to the end zone for McNeil. It's incomplete. McNeil held onto the football, but he did not keep his feet in bounds. Good coverage by Peyton Arthurs. Brings up the incompletion, 3rd and 10 with 28 seconds left.
Yeah, great effort from McNeil. The official right on it immediately made the call. So good job of officiating there. And now here on 3rd down, man, this would really put Valley in a tough decision, but you feel like they've got to come away with points.
No question, Shane. Had some great offensive drives, nothing to show for it yet. 3rd and 10 at the 14. Cunningham fakes a handoff, plays blown dead. As Nolan Crabtree is going to burn his final time out of the half.
Well, now the factor is if this play doesn't at least get past the 1st down marker in time for you to get up and clock it, now you're on 4th down, and if the ball is stopped live in play, you're going to get the field goal unit on. So that's a huge timeout call there.
Yeah. If you don't get a 1st down, it's going to be tough to get your field goal team out there in time to get something. But like you said, if you're Valley, I agree in the sense that you have to get at least something, but I don't know if you're gonna walk away. You'll take your points if you get 3, but with Zane Trace getting the ball coming out of half, you have to wonder how far 3's gonna get you.
Well, I agree. Now if you let's say you could get this ball down inside the 5 or whatever, and then if you're going for the touchdown, I get it. But if you don't get something here, the point I'm making is offensively, you have proven you can come out in the second half and move the football. Go ahead and get yourself on the board at 14-3. But you're right. I mean, the 2-possession game going in the second half with Zane Trace getting the ball, certainly not where you want to be.
3rd and 10 at the 14. Cunningham to throw, got a man in the end zone, it's intercepted. Jaden Higgins, and he's got nothing but turf ahead of him.
He's going to go.
Jaden Higgins down the sideline, Aaron chasing him, and he wrestles him down at the 15. Another huge turnover by the Zane Trace defense. This time, it's Jaden Higgins.
Outstanding effort from Anthony Arano. Let's see if they're able to hold Zane Trace out of the end zone here and keep points off the board. That was an incredible play for Zane Trace from Higgins, but what an incredible effort for Aaron not to give up on the play and run him down. With 15 seconds to go, Carson, that could end up being a huge hustle play.
Well, when Higgins was at midfield, you said he's going to go all the way. Sure enough, here comes Anthony Aaron like DK Metcalf did a couple years ago in that Sunday Night Football game. Touchdown saving tackle, but an amazing play by Jaden Higgins to keep Valley out of the end zone.
Now, Zane Trace also capable of kicking the field goals. So let's see how they handle this. They have 2 timeouts remaining.
1st and 10, McCullough to throw. McCullough taking a shot for Hartley in the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, Pioneers. Mason Hartley, spectacular catch with 2 feet in the end zone.
Yeah, Hartley showing off all aspects of the game tonight, involved in the special teams earlier, and now on the offensive side, the good hands, good feet, and Zane Trace threatening to break it open.
Gunnar McCullough to Mason Hartley from 16 yards out.
Wow, what an ending to the first half.
First completion for a touchdown tonight from the Pioneers. The extra point is no good. Line drive kick from Lane is wide left. But once again, Zane Trace's defense sets up the offense to do light work. So McCullough finds Mason Hartley in the back of the end zone after the interception from Jaden Higgins.
Yeah, and the Zane Trace secondary has been the story in this one so far. 3 interceptions, 2 from Stewart, 1 from Higgins. Stewart takes the 1 to the house. Higgins brings the 1 all the way back to set up the 16-yard strike from McCullough to Hartley. And Zane Trace just putting together a real complete performance, to be honest.
Mason Hartley had the blocked field goal return for a touchdown and makes an incredible catch in the back of the end zone to make it a 3-score game for the Pioneers. Unbelievable showing from the 5'8" junior. Lane out to boot it away with 8 seconds left in the half. It's a short pooch kick. It will take a bounce on the far sideline, and they'll say it went out of bounds. A disguised onside kick there doesn't work to Zane Trace's favor.
Well, in that situation, it's a tough call because you don't really want to kick it much deeper than that and allow one of the talented athletes of Valley to have a chance to break one late here. Go ahead and take your chances. Ball looks like they're going to spot it out at the 39. No timeouts, so not a whole lot of options for Valley here, but down 20-0. You hate to give away a chance. They're probably going to try to throw it out there and see what happens.
1st and 10 at the 39, 8 seconds left in the half. Cunningham will go down to a knee, and that will bring us to the end of the first half, where the Zane Trace defense has had its fingerprints all over this game. And the offense hasn't been on the field for very long, but they have done their job. And the Pioneers take a 20-0 lead on the Valley Indians into halftime here in this Division V Region 19 first-round playoff matchup. We'll step aside and give our thoughts on the first half. When we come back, you're watching Ohio High School playoff football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. I'm a black belt. One very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Rathkamp Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round. Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your Hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly, or start shopping online at yourhometownchevy.com.
For 175 years, the Glockner name has stood for trust. Today, that promise continues. Every time your family turns the key. Generations have trusted us for one reason. We never stopped caring. From preschool drop-offs to road trips, you leave our service center knowing your family is in the safest hands possible. 175 years of social proof that this isn't just service. It's a promise from our family to yours.
Have you experienced simply brilliant fiber internet? Yeah, that's Glow Fiber. Lightning fast internet that keeps up with your busy life. A reliable fiber-to-the-home network whether you're working, learning, playing, or streaming. And best of all, Glow Fiber has real local support from real people who are happy to talk to you. And switch now for your first month free. Faster, more reliable fiber internet with real local support. Glow Fiber, simply brilliant.
Here, the color TV you've been waiting for.
RCA Victor Color TV is so true to life, you can hardly tell the difference.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
For 175 years, the Glockner name has stood for trust. Today, that promise continues. Every time your family turns the key. Generations have trusted us for one reason. We never stopped caring. From preschool drop-offs to road trips, you leave our service center knowing your family is in the safest hands possible. 175 years of social proof that this isn't just service. It's a promise from our family to yours.
Halftime wrapping up here at Valley High School in the first round of the Division 5 Region 19 playoffs. As the Zane Trace Pioneers hold a 20-0 lead over the Valley Indians. After one half of play, Carson Francis and Shane Combs back with you here from Lucasville. Shane, a first half that was dominated by the Zane Trace defense and special teams. Tell the story of this one.
Yeah, the stat sheet doesn't even make sense when you just look at it from a standpoint of yardage. You know, Valley possessed the ball much longer. I had them for 8 first downs. I think Zane Trace only had 2 first downs. Yardage-wise, Valley way over double of Zane Trace. But then what happens in the pass game is you throw in 3 interceptions by the Zane Trace secondary, 2 for Grady Stewart and 1 from Jaden Higgins. And obviously Stewart took 1 back to the house. The Higgins return probably every bit of 75 yards or so. Remember, Aaron had the great hustle play, which could have ended up being a huge play in the game, but Zane Trace cashes it in on the very next play of the McCullough to Hartley touchdown. So, again, if you look at the stats, Valley's played 2 different quarterbacks. Both of them have thrown the ball 7 times. Conaway was 4 of 7 for 13 yards. Hunter Cunningham, 3 of 7 for 47. But again, you had the 2 interceptions from Conaway, the 1 from Cunningham, and that's been a big factor. And then you throw in the special teams. Remember, the very talented Jaden Bender going to come out and try to get him on the board. And Hartley sneaks through the middle, blocks it, and then scoops it up and takes it all the way to the house. So you add it all up, and the stat sheet may not tell you the story, but the scoreboard reads 20-0 Zane Trace.
And you talked about during our downtime during the halftime break that if Zane Trace can just play mistake-free football throughout the second half, their defense is going to keep them in good shape.
Well, it's a fine line. You don't want to get like so timid that you just absolutely beg Valley back in the game. But the point I was making is Zane Trace comes in only giving up, about 9 points a game. So, and you possess the football to start the half. So, you like your chances of where you're at in terms of keeping Valley from scoring 21 points. Now, that doesn't mean Valley can't, because Valley has some outstanding offensive, explosive type of athletes. But wouldn't you agree, Carson, that in order for Valley to come all the way back and get this one, there's probably going to have to be some mistakes made in terms of the Zane Trace offense giving up the ball, or again, maybe a special teams miscue on their side that would allow Valley a little bit of aid in doing so.
And for Valley, again, you've got still a half of football left. You've shown the ability to move the football. Now, if you're Valley, how do you go about looking to capitalize on these long drives, on those drives where you're knocking on the door of getting some points on the board?
Well, if you're Valley, you take a little bit of confidence in your ability to move the football. You try to go into the locker room and let your kids know that, hey, look, we've made 3 or 4 mistakes that's really help Zane Trace get on the board here. Let's see if we can go out and flip the script in the second half. Let's go out and get a stop and then try to get on the board immediately. I would think the goal is to try to win the third quarter by at least a 7-0 or 14-0 total to see if you can't get into the fourth quarter with a chance to come back and steal one.
This is The first round of the Division 5 Region 19 playoffs, the first year of a 12-team format scaled back from previously 16 teams per region, now down to 12. The winner of this matchup will travel to Columbus Academy next week for a matchup with the Vikings on Friday, November 7th. And Zane Trace with a 20-0 lead, looking to be a half of football away from doing just that.
Carson, another thing that jumps out at me on the stat sheet that's going to have to change, as good as Valley wasn't moving the ball, their longest, let's see, Anthony Aaron's longest run 5 yards, Gabe McNeil's longest run 9 yards, Braxton Conaway 9 yards. Even through the air, they had the 125-yard pass play, Cunningham to McNeil. But time of possession, it's just not going to be available in the second half. So at some point when you agree, Valley's going to have to hit the home run to try to get back in this thing.
Absolutely. Teams back out on the field for the second half. Jalen Bender to boot it away for Valley. Mason Hartley and Jaden Higgins, the two men deep for the Pioneers. Second half of this first round playoff matchup is underway as Bender sails his one into the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, he shows off his leg there, the ability to really win field position. Quite a weapon.
Now Zane Trace's offense retakes the field. And remember, Shane, we haven't seen, compared to Valley, we haven't seen as much of Zane Trace's offense throughout the first half, and that's just because their defense and special teams have been making a lot of their plays. But when their defense has set them up in good positions, they've capitalized.
They have. Well, remember, you had the fake punt from Valley, then you had the 3-and-out from Zane Trace. So by the time they got the ball back, they only ran 3 offensive plays in the first quarter. Second quarter, they started to find a little bit of rhythm, but it's just not what the doctor has called for here this evening. So the main thing is that they didn't turn the ball over.
First down, here's a handoff to Bryce Johnson. Johnson trying to spin out of contact and creates a pile near the 25-yard line. Handful of Indians in on that tackle. Tyler Carver was one of them.
Well, Carson, with the 20-0 lead, you can guarantee that Zane Trace would like to wear out their talented backfield and try to really possess the football, and that was a good start there on first down.
4-yard carry from Bryce Johnson, 2nd and 6. They'll go back to Johnson on the toss sweep. Johnson tried to get to the sideline, and a couple Indians bring him down. Braxton Conaway was one of them. Johnson showing off a little burst there. Might have got some more if it wasn't for multiple Indians being in on that tackle.
Well, and again, let's just call it what it is. This is a huge play here, early third quarter. Zane Trace, they take an awful gutsy call to go for it on a 4th and short with a 20-0 lead. So Valley defensively really needs to come up with a big play here.
3rd and 1 at the 29, 2-back set for the Pioneers. They'll go back to Johnson once more. Johnson has got the first down. Up the middle, he dives forward, moves the chains.
Yeah, great job of finishing the run. Good job by that offensive line. Been doing a job all night long. Blake Brower, Blake Payne, Connor Smith, Lane Reeves, Evan Miner. Reeves and Miner over there on that right side there, all SVC honorable mention, and then Miner was first team.
Bryce Johnson, the man that they block for, first team all SVC as well. Here's a handoff now to Higgins. Higgins out of a cannon, and he's in the clear. No one near him. 67 yards, touchdown, Jaden Higgins.
Well, we talk about the home run. It's Zane Trace that hits it. Higgins only carried it 2 times in the first half. He was saving it all for his 3rd carry of the night, which was a 67-yard dagger in a way. I mean, you start to spread it out to where Valley's going to dig the hole too deep.
Jaden Higgins, through contact, fires out of the gate and all the way to the house. Extra point from Lane, splits the uprights, and it is good. The quick score from Jaden Higgins extends the lead 27-0. Zane Trace here in this first-round playoff matchup. You're watching Ohio High School Playoff Football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Pregame Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
27-0, Zane Trace with 9:59 left in the third quarter. Zane Trace gets another huge play, a 67-yard touchdown run from Jaden Higgins.
Yeah, so the offense wanted to get involved a little bit after the defensive and special teams start. And they get it with the pass play right before the half and then come out in the second half and hit the home run with the run game.
Kickoff fielded by Jed Hall, excuse me. Hall dropped at the 35 on the return. And Valley will bring its offense out to start the second half. And Hall shaken up after the return. Braxton Conaway awaits the signal from his coach. He'll retake the reins at quarterback for the Indians.
What's tough now if you're Valley is a little bit in the time and score aspect. You wonder how many possessions you're going to get. You don't want to just completely abandon the run because that's who you are and what you do, but they're certainly going to have to go with a little bit of urgency and tempo, I would think.
First down, Conaway gonna keep it after faking the give to Aaron. Conaway trying to get to the outside before he's wrangled down by Grady Stewart just beyond the 40.
You know, Carson, I feel like Zane Trace is tackled pretty well in space. There was an early play on a little screen where they didn't get McNeil down. Other than that, I feel like they've done a pretty good job of limiting the big play, and a lot of that has been their ability to tackle in space.
Called a gain of 6 on the carry, 2nd and 4 at the 42. Conaway gonna keep it himself again, gets to the outside, gets the first down, and falls forward after moving the chains. Jake Stauffer making the stop for Zane Trace.
Yeah, Conaway had 9 carries, 20 yards first half, already 11 on those 2 carries. So, again, talked about Valley moving the football. I have that as their 9th first down of the evening, so it gives you an idea how they've moved it, just haven't had anything to show for it.
New set of downs at the 47. Here's a handoff to Anthony Aaron. Aaron ran into a squad of Pioneers and doesn't get much on that carry. Lucas Euler and Hudson Williams team up to bring down Aaron after a gain of 1.
Carson, I mentioned that in the first half. I think that's why Braxton Conaway can get 2 carries for the 11 yards, because tell me if you agree, it looks to me like the Zane Trace defense has just come in with the game plan of Anthony Aaron is not going to beat us, and they've been selling out on that. Therefore, some other things have been there from Valley, but Zane Trace has taken away the one thing they wanted to.
2nd and 9 at the 48. Conaway to throw. That pass is incomplete. Intended for Isaiah Clark on the slant route. Conaway just put it a little behind him. And Clark could not turn around in time to haul it in. Brings up 3rd down.
So 3rd and long, unless you're already looking at it as a 2 down to get it. You're probably a pass situation, so you got to be able to protect against the Zane Trace front. They can really come and get you. Brower and Euler can really make it difficult to throw to the edges with their size.
3rd and 9, Conaway drops back. He's under pressure. Ball comes out. And they're going to say it's an incomplete pass. The ball was moving forward. Conaway was in his throwing motion. But Blake Brower applying some pressure forces the incompletion.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. The SVC Defensive Lineman of the Year, first team all SVC there, just comes off the edge, and you just don't have time to get into your route, and he's already at your quarterback. So as Valley becomes a little bit more pass dimensional, one part of it is going to be being able to protect, because Zane Trace doesn't really have to send extra people to get pressure because of that defensive front.
Down 4 scores. The Indians will go for it on 4th and 9 at their own 48. Conaway rolling. Here's a screen out to Lundy, the tight end, and the Pioneers defense had it snuffed out. Evan Miner and Lucas Euler chase down Blake Lundy and stop the potential 4th down conversion, gives the Pioneers the ball back at midfield. This Zane Trace defense has had a stellar night here in round 1 of the playoffs.
Well, and you're seeing it all layers of the defense, Carson. The secondary was showing off there in the first half with the 3 interceptions and the 1 pick six. Certainly had the 4th down breakup on another, had a 4th down goal line interception. But you've also seen some really good tackling on the edge. And there I thought the defensive line was outstanding on that 3rd and 4th down stop.
Pioneers start at midfield, 7:49 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Here's a toss out to Bryce Johnson. Johnson getting to the outside. Johnson breaks a tackle, picks up the 1st. Broke 1 tackle, finally driven out of bounds by Gavin Hanna. But not before he moves the chains.
Well, this is where Zane Trace can really start to wear you down. With the big lead, they'll get the clock moving, and obviously Johnson and company can run with the physicality and between the tackles, but we also saw on the last possession the way Higgins in space can go the distance.
1,380 rushing yards in the regular season for Bryce Johnson. First down, McCullough fakes the handoff to Johnson. McCullough to throw. He's got Williams open for a 1st down. Pioneers in the red zone. Just the 2nd catch on the season for Hudson Williams.
Right around 21 yards. And, you know, Carson, I've said that throughout the year. I feel like if in system, I feel like Zane Trace is capable of throwing it a little bit. And that's an example of what I'm talking about, that, you know, they don't always have to throw it, but they can throw it when they need to.
Pioneers back in the red zone, 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's a toss out to Johnson. Johnson trying to weave through traffic, bowling balls his way forward. Called a gain of about 6 on the carry. Nolan Barnett, one of the Indians, in on that stop.
Well, certainly didn't expect this type of game tonight. Give Zane Trace a lot of credit. They've been locked in all 3 phases. We highlighted over and over the defense, special teams, first half, the offense really clicking here in the 3rd quarter.
Now 2nd and 4. Johnson, the deep man behind McCullough. Higgins shifts over to the left. They'll go to Johnson once again, and the play is blown dead. Penalty before the play. A false start on the Pioneers.
I've had a Zane Trace's 3rd penalty of the evening, so it's been a pretty clean game.
You get to
from that aspect.
You get to midway through the 3rd quarter, and that's only your 3rd penalty. I'd say you've been doing a pretty good job so far.
Only 2 on Valley, so we haven't had a lot of flags throughout the evening.
Zane Trace looking for the 2nd playoff win in the Dylan Weirs era. They have made the playoffs in the first 2. They fell in the first round 31-7 to Fairland last year. They've been dominant so far tonight. Here's a handoff to Higgins once again. Higgins making things happen. Moves the chains. It'll be 1st and goal for the Pioneers.
Yeah, nice run all the way down inside the 10.
5-yard carry from Higgins makes it 1st and goal at the 7. First down, here's another handoff to Johnson. Johnson ran into some traffic, and that play got blown up by the Valley defensive line. Tyler Carver puts an end to that play.
You know, they've done a pretty good job on Johnson overall. As a result, Higgins got loose on him. Higgins on the 4 carries, when you consider he had the 67-yard touchdown, I've got him unofficially for 83 yards. Bryce Johnson's carried it up to 13 times now, but they've held him in pretty good check.
2nd and goal at the 7. McCullough looks back to the sideline, awaits a change in the signal from Coach Weirs. Play clock down to 2, and Dylan Weirs will elect to use his first time out of the half. And we will quickly take it with him. You're watching Ohio High School Playoff Football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Pregame Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Back here at Valley High School with 4:47 left in the 3rd quarter, Zane Trace looking to add on to a 27-0 lead. So they've got 2nd and goal from the Valley 7-yard line.
Yeah, in this second half, the offense really been able to get it going. Started with the run game, and then the long run with Higgins, and they little play action, was able to get Hudson Williams on the pass play. So now down inside the red zone, you'd expect for them to pound with the running game. Let's see what they have in mind coming out of the timeout.
Hudson Williams, offset tight end on the left side. 2nd and goal, McCullough fakes the toss. Rolling out to his right, looking to throw. He's got Hartley in the end zone. He hauls it in with one hand. Touchdown, Pioneers.
Nice little left-hand snag. Goes and gets it, and Hartley's having himself quite a night.
2nd touchdown grab of the night for Mason Hartley. Pioneers tack on another. Preston Lane out to kick the extra point. The running clock is now in play here in Lucasville.
Wow.
Out of the hold of Stewart, Lane gets it up, and he splits the uprights. Preston Lane, 4 for 5 on extra points. And Gunnar McCullough finds Mason Hartley for the 2nd time tonight. This Zane Trace crowd fired up, and rightfully so. 34-0 Pioneers. Well in control here in this first-round playoff matchup.
Yeah, just so complete. I mean, never would have seen this type of game coming either way, and it's just the way sports can work sometimes when it starts to be the snowball effect. You know, Zane Trace gets off to that type of start, and it's one play after the other, and then it's infectious. Everybody wants to get involved, right? You know, you start to get the turnovers, and special team gets involved. Well, you know, the offense, even up 20-0, probably went to the locker room. Zane Trace offense I'm talking, probably felt like they didn't play their best football, right? So now they want to come out and get involved a little bit. And I kind of like the way they put on film here, the ability to play action and throw it a little bit. I think that could be a factor in the weeks to come, because with the athletes they have, they're still capable of making plays in the passing game, and I think that's been on display here on that drive.
Win or go home, Zane Trace putting it all on the line, and everything has gone their way as Valley lets the kickoff bounce. Conaway fields it at the 15, and he gets wrestled down at the 20. Gavin Jean on the kickoff coverage. Gets a tackle, gets his name called on the intercom here in the postseason.
Yeah, great placement of the kick, great coverage. And Zane Trace wins the battle of field position here.
The clock will continue to run. Hunter Cunningham retakes the reins at quarterback for the Indians. 1st and 10. Tripped on the far side. Cunningham looking to throw. He's under pressure. Gets it out. And Grady Stewart almost had his 3rd pick of the night.
I didn't really see a receiver in the area. Stewart's just had a nose for the football tonight. But, you know, I talked about this on the last drive. What happens now at Valley, especially going to Cunningham, which they're wanting to throw it around a little bit more, you know, the pass protection's a premium here, and it's just, you know, the front 4 of Zane Trace can just be relentless.
Down to 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 10, Cunningham will look to throw again, firing down the seam. This time it's caught by Isaiah Clark. Higgins was there on the hit, but Clark holds on to the football and gives the Indians a 1st down.
Yeah, right around 16, maybe 17 yards. We'll call it 17. Good throw, good catch. He knew he was going to take a hit and held on. Well done.
Clark has had a couple big catches tonight for the Indians, the 5'10 junior. Getting some action on the receiving end.
Yeah, 2 catches, 26 yards. He had the 1st down grab where he kept the feet in bounds earlier.
Now Cunningham looking to throw it downfield. He'll throw it away, intended for Conaway on the near sideline.
Again, good inside pressure. Looked like Evan Miner that got home there from the tackle position to force the quick throw.
.45 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. It's been all Zane Trace tonight. 2nd and 10 at the 39. Cunningham to throw. Again, he's got Conaway open. Conaway through traffic, taken down inside the 30. Braxton Conaway now on the receiving end of a dime from Hunter Cunningham. Valley once again in Zane Trace territory.
Did a good job of looking off the secondary that time. Looked left, came back right, and threw an absolute dime. By far his best throw of the evening.
1st and 10 at the 29. Cunningham drops back, taking a shot, and it's intercepted again by Hudson Williams, the 4th pick of the night for Zane Trace. Hudson Williams has some open room. He will score with ease. Hudson Williams to the house.
Unbelievable. The Zane Trace secondary just keeps taking turns on making big plays. This time it's Hudson Williams, and wow.
Hudson Williams did not have an interception to his name all season. His 1st one comes in the playoffs, and it goes for 6. The 2nd pick 6 of the night for Zane Trace, the 4th interception. What's there to not say about this Zane Trace defense?
Well, it's just complimentary. Give that front 4 a lot of credit, the way they've been able to pressure. And the secondary with great ball skills, reading it, and again, making the catch, but then also knowing where they want to take it after the catch.
Lane sinks the extra point. That brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter, 41-0. Zane Trace well in control here in round 1 of the playoffs. You're watching Ohio High School playoff football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news, Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
fourth quarter is finally upon us here in Lucasville. The Zane Trace Pioneers have had their names written all over this one, and it's been an absolute showcase for this defense.
It's just phenomenal to think what the interceptions have led to. Obviously, 2 went directly back to the house. A third one set up a short field for a touchdown, and it's just the athleticism and the depth of athletes in that secondary really on display here this evening for Zane Trace.
Preston Lane to boot it away after the pick 6 from Hudson Williams. It's fielded by Conaway at the 11. Conaway trying to make something happen. And he gets taken down by a trio of Pioneers just shy of the 35-yard line.
And if you're not familiar with the running clock, this fourth quarter will really go. It's one of the real good rules, I feel, Carson, that they put in high school football, because you just get to these situations, and that's just my opinion. I think it's good that they keep it moving.
What are your thoughts on the running clock in the playoffs like we have here?
Well, again, when it gets to this level of score, I think it's okay. I mean, I think they set the total far enough out to where I still think it's appropriate.
11 minutes left here in this Division 5 Region 19 first-round matchup. Zane Trace well on their way to a date with Columbus Academy next Friday. 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Anthony Aaron. Aaron gets stopped after a gain of a couple yards. Bryce Johnson and Gavin Jean tag teaming on the tackle. Jean, the 5'9" senior, getting some reps here late in this playoff matchup.
Valley just never able to really get Anthony Aaron going. That's what I was talking about earlier. I felt like that was the top of the scouting report for the Zane Trace defense in terms of how they've played some of these formations and run game.
2nd and 6 at the 38. Cunningham to throw it. He's got a man on the sideline. It's incomplete. Lex Logan tried to haul it in with one hand. And it drops to the ground, brings up 3rd and 6. Some trick-or-treating going on in the Valley stands as Halloween night coming to a close, as the spooky game for the Indians is just about over.
It's quite the pumpkin full of candy that young lady has down there, maybe.
3rd and 6. Cunningham to throw. He's rolling out, and it was almost intercepted again. Grady Stewart wanted his 3rd pick of the night.
Well, now, Carson, it's one of those things where you know they're going to throw it on just about every down, and everybody wants to get involved, right? You just start licking the chops, and you start to gamble on just about everything.
Grady Stewart, the 6'2" senior, 3-sport athlete, also a key starter in the basketball and baseball programs for the Pioneers.
So I said, go ahead.
Made plays all season long to put the Pioneers in this postseason position. 4th down, Cunningham to throw down the middle. It's almost intercepted, broken up again by Grady Stewart. Johnny on the spot.
Yeah, Carson, I was going to mention earlier, it was on display there again, is as much as we highlight the interceptions, let's really give that shout out to Euler, Reeves, Minor, and Brower up front. They've been in the face of Conaway and Cunningham all night long, and it just makes it so difficult to survey the field, and they've certainly thrown the ball into some tight coverages and paid for it.
Well, and we've talked about how the run game for Valley has been just silenced. Aaron hasn't broken off any big plays. McNeil had the one big play in the passing game, but carrying the ball, he hasn't broken off that many big ones. Credit that to the Zane Trace D-line.
Yeah, and it goes back to game plan, their ability to take Aaron away. Allowed a few other things early, but that takes away a lot.
Zane Trace getting some second-teamers in. Bryson Payne The 5'8" freshman taking the snaps. The false start by the Pioneers will move him back.
Nice experience for some of the youngsters here in week 11.
You get to go to school on Monday on the heels of getting some live action reps in a playoff game. How about that?
Maybe someone get him a playoff touchdown, or on the Valley side, maybe some playoff tackles, or maybe even calls a turnover here.
Loaded backfield for the Pioneers on 1st and 15. Here's Bryson Payne, keeps it himself and takes a couple big hits by some Valley defenders. Gavin Hanna credited with the tackle. Valley making some substitutions. These upperclassmen, these guys that have started all season long, coming off the field one final time in this 2025 season.
You know, Carson, I think what's so shocking to me about the outcome this evening is, you know, Valley's an 8-2 football team. They're a really, really good team, and that's what makes this even more impressive by Zane Trace.
Payne to throw on 2nd down. It's hauled in on the sideline. Did they say he stayed in bounds? They will say he stayed in bounds. Quentin Allen on the sliding grab. Moves the chains for the 1st down.
Athletic catch. Good job of keeping the feet in.
You know, Quentin Allen is a catcher for the Pioneers baseball team. Showed off the athleticism, looking like he was blocking a wild pitch. 5:40 left, Pioneers at the Valley 24. Payne takes a snap. Here's a toss out to Levi Marshall, and Marshall's got some room on the outside. Levi Marshall at the pylon. They're going to say he was just short of the goal line, but a great carry from the junior Levi Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall shows off some speed to the edge there, and like you said, probably just one more tiptoe of the sideline away from getting himself to the pylon.
I'll call it 1st and goal at the 3, coming up on 5 minutes to go. Pioneers playing for some style points with their 2nd team. And a false start will move them back another 5 yards.
And again, even with the penalties, the clock continues to move, so going to be probably under 4.5. Well under 4.5 by the time they snap it again.
Further ahead in our fall sports coverage, again tomorrow at 5 o'clock, we'll have coverage of the Division V volleyball regional final between Adena and New Lexington from Logan High School. And then next Friday night, we will have live coverage from Unioto as the Shermans await the winner of Columbus East and Canton South in Division IV 2nd round action. Here's Jake Stauffer on the carry, and he gets stuffed behind the line by Connor Wilson, the senior linebacker, making his last few minutes as a Valley Indian worthwhile.
Yeah, give the senior a lot of credit, playing all the way to the end. Made a good read on the ball there, and good tackle. So again, good to see the senior getting an opportunity to continue to compete.
2nd and goal at the 14 after tackle for loss from Connor Wilson. 2-back set. Payne gonna keep it, throws, it's caught. Gavin Waller on the near sideline gets a few yards back for the Pioneers.
Again, seeing some young guys in the skill position just shows off the depth of skill kids throughout the Zane Trace program. Been impressed with a little bit of their ability to throw it to the edge, and different guys making some catches.
The freshman to freshman connection gives the Pioneers a gain of 6. 3rd and goal from the 8. High snap, Payne gonna keep it himself. Pass to Allen in the end zone, touchdown. The freshman Bryson Payne channeling his inner Tim Tebow.
Yeah, he gives you a little fake run into the line there, and certainly a little bit of a jump over the top there. He freezes the linebacker with the fake run and throws it up and hits his target.
Quentin Allen, the 5'10 sophomore tight end, hauls in a touchdown late in this playoff matchup. Payne to kick the extra point. Play is blown dead. And a false start against the Pioneers.
Kicking game's been pretty solid tonight. Just the one missed PAT, correct?
Yeah. Preston Lane is 6 of 7 on extra points. I'll move him 5 yards back. Lane will try again. High snap. Stewart gets the hold down, and that is no problem for Preston Lane. 7 of 8 on extra points, extends the lead to 48-0 in favor of the Pioneers. As the second team gets some reps on offense, Quentin Allen hauls in a touchdown pass from the freshman backup quarterback, Bryson Payne.
Again, just a little bit, I'm just almost amazed by the outcome. I mean, you tell me, coming in, did you ever expect this type of game either way?
Not at all.
Valley, really, really good team, and I think it's just credit's got to go to Zane Trace. I mean, all three, you always talk about all three phases, and obviously defense has been more than involved, special teams have been involved, and then even the offensive has come alive here in the second half.
This is a team that those last 3 games of the regular season following the loss to Unioto, they really bonded together, buckled down, and they've been playing their best football over these last 3 games of the regular season, and that's carried over into the playoffs by far.
Well, I would even go back to the Uniota game, because a lot of people feel like that Uniota team is as good a team as they've had in school history, and we agreed that Zane Trace went toe-to-toe with them for every bit of 3.5 quarters, so I think they probably gained a lot of confidence in how they played that night.
But as for this one, that will wrap it up from Lucasville. This Pioneer playoff trail will make its way to Columbus next Friday night. 48-0, the final score. The Zane Trace Pioneers over the Valley Indians to advance to Week 12. It was all Pioneers from the jump. This defense put on a masterclass and gives head coach Dylan Weirs his second playoff win as head coach of the Pioneers.
Well, the stats are easy to give. You pick them all 4 times. You return 2 of those for touchdowns, and then you block a field goal and you return that, and that's going to be the formula to win just on any night.
We'll quickly step aside and give our final thoughts when we return. Zane Trace is on to Week 12 after a 48-0 win over Valley. You're watching Ohio High School Playoff Football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. 1 chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Your final score once again from Lucasville, the Zane Trace Pioneers in dominating fashion will move on to Week 12 with a 48-0 win over the Valley Indians. Carson Francis and Shane Combs with you once again. Shane, all Pioneers from the start. Their defense, their special teams put on a show. Their offense did its job just a complete showing from the Pioneers.
Yeah, it really was. We'll run down some different things to try to illustrate it for people. Gunnar McCullough, very efficient, 4 of 5, 57 yards, throws the 2 touchdowns, both of those to Mason Hartley, who has the 3 catches, 2 of which ended in the end zone. The 16-yarder right before the half, the 7-yard, that was the outstanding left-hand, one-handed catch where he hauls it in. And then, obviously, as you go to the defensive side, you have 4 interceptions. Grady Stewart with 2 of those. He returns 1 for a touchdown. Then we had a Jaden Higgins interception that went all the way back deep into the territory that set up the touchdown before the half. And then Hudson Williams got in the act with an interception later on. And then Mason Hartley, who just had a career night. I already mentioned the 2 receiving touchdowns, Carson. He also broke through the line of scrimmage when this game was still really, really close. And the very talented Jalen Bender was going to have a chance to get Valley on the board. He breaks through and blocks a kick and takes that back to the house. So, as you said, every single aspect, Zane Trace kind of checks the box tonight, and as a result, they win it in runaway fashion.
Zane Trace improves to 9-2 overall on the season. They'll advance to face Columbus Academy next Friday night up in Gahanna. A matchup with the Vikings, the number 2 seed in Division 5, Region 19. As for Valley, their season comes to a close. A disappointing way to end, but what a season it was for the Indians. 3-7 in the previous 3 seasons beforehand. And then these seniors get to leave Valley after ending their senior year 8-3, their most wins they've had in a decade. Definitely nothing to hang your heads over for Valley.
No. And I'm glad you said that, because that's where I was going to go next. Is we would be crazy not to give a shout out to the Valley seniors who have played their last game, because, as you said, with the schedule they play, to come in at 8-2 and have a home playoff game, your hats off to them on a great year. Tonight they just had some unique plays go against them early, and then it kind of snowballed on them, and that can happen. Zane Trace, a phenomenal football team. But, yeah, the Valley senior class has a lot to be proud of in terms of that 8-win season.
Guys like Anthony Aaron, Gabe McNeil, some staples of this Valley football team will say goodbye to the program, as well as I could go down the whole list. Lex Logan, Jalen Bender, Gideon Toller, some guys that have been playing consistently throughout the year. Tyler Carver, Nolan Barnett, a lot of guys that have been through the ups and downs of this Valley football program. Coach Crabtree said in the preseason, last year they were 3-7. They were a couple plays away from being 7-3. This season is when Valley kind of put it together and finally got those wins that they needed to down the stretch. And again, nothing to hang your heads over if you're the Indians. But as for Zane Trace now, the season continues on, and obviously in the playoffs, every game is like this, but next week, by far a tough test facing Columbus Academy, the number 2 seed in Division 5, Region 19. A quick preview on the Vikings. They were also 8-2 in the regular season. Their only losses came to Jonathan Alder and Heath, who are both in the playoffs in Division 4.
Well, obviously you're going to play an incredible team when you get to this level. Columbus Academy will present an incredible challenge in terms of speed, strength, and athleticism. But as we saw tonight, you feel like Zane Trace in most situations will at least hang in there from an athleticism standpoint, especially in that secondary and the ability to run with teams. So let's see if they can go in to week 12 there, maybe reestablish the run game. That's probably the only thing that never really got going tonight. See if they can reestablish that a little bit, and and if the defense and special teams want to continue to score, I'm sure they would accept that.
For more scores around the area from playoff action, be sure to go to SosaOhio.com and check out our North Fork Animal Clinic scoreboard. And as for the rest of our coverage tonight, be sure to tune in at 9:45 to the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show presented by Edward Jones. John Bruce and Jeff Miller will have some area coaches calling in to give their thoughts on tonight's games from our Chillicothe studio. And once again, reminder, tomorrow at 5 o'clock p.m., from Logan High School, we will have coverage of the Division V volleyball regional final between Adena and New Lexington. That game first serve at 5 o'clock p.m. tomorrow evening. And then going into next week, early on, Shane, you and John will be doing Overtime presented by Perfection One, the weekly podcast of SOSA. And then, as I mentioned before, next Friday night, we're going to be at Unioto, where the Shermans, who had a first-round bye, are going to face the winner of Columbus East and Canton South in Division IV Region 15 action.
Well, I think it's an exciting time for Unioto. They're going to host a team that's going to come in and present an athletic challenge that Unioto certainly hasn't seen during the regular season. But again, you're in the Week 12. You're playing at home, and this is what the Unioto team is worked for, and they're going to get a chance on their home field to see if they can get over that hump and get one.
One final time from Valley High School, from Kenneth Hay, our cameraman, and from Shane Combs, I am Carson Francis. We thank you for tuning in to tonight's presentation of Ohio High School Playoff Football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health. The Zane Trace Pioneers are moving on to Week 12. Enjoy the rest of your evening.